My question to you, Pastor Barrett, is at this time, what would you tell your 23-year-old self?
You can tip my question.
Wow. Wow.
He said, what would he tell his 23-year-old self?
No. Good question.
That's a good question.
Yes. Good
I would sit down with him and I would be patient with him. And I'm gonna tell you why. He was hard-headed. I think since I've been at Do Right pastoring 2 times, I think maybe 3 times, 3 young men have come into the church on separate occasions. And I was preaching, and the Holy Spirit said to me to warn them. And they were about 22, 21, 23, same age as I used to be. And I would take the microphone, I would put it behind my back, and I would share with them what God told me to share with them. And it hurt because I knew they wasn't going to listen. The last young man, and where's Ursula at? Can I share this? Ursula, is it all right? I have your permission to share? All right. He came to the church, and the Lord told me to tell him something. And I did what I said. I put the microphone behind my back, and I shared with him exactly what God told me to tell him. Brother Sean helped the brother get a job, and he just had a baby, but I knew he wasn't going to listen because he reminded me of me, and I saw that, and he didn't listen. Right now, he's in prison. Right now, he's in prison. Both of the young men that I talked about and warned them as God told me to warn them, they didn't listen. And it reminded me, so now, because of their choices, they have to deal with the consequences. Most people want to make the choices, but they cannot deal with the consequences.
That's right. That's right.
So my thing with the 23-year-old me, I would tell him, before you make that move, calculate the consequences. Unfortunately, he would listen anyway.
All right.
And so, what's amazing is, in spite of the choices you make sometimes, the grace of God still covers you. But it don't always happen.
Right.
I know some people that made the same choices I made, and they got out of prison and went back to the life, and now they're dead.
My Lord.
A pastor that I know, he was in prison, and he was preaching and teaching Bible study and classes and everything. And he was a big promoter in New York, and he went back to New York, got released from prison. He's in New York, and he's promoting these parties and everything. And so he's on the dance floor at one of the parties he promoted. And he says, as he was on the dance floor partying it up, everybody, the whole crowd thing, everything, he's back in the limelight. He said his leg twisted. And he said he literally heard the Lord tell him, I did not save you to lead my people back to this. He's been pastoring ever since. So sometimes, like, God could have allowed something worse to happen, but he really got his attention. And so.
Great job.